All right, we are live. Oh, I apologize. A little late today. Let me open up the iPad and so I can keep track of your comments. Here we go. That way I can sit here and catch all your comments. There we go. So I'm just a little late. I apologize. We're usually every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time zone. And yeah, we're a little late. I apologize. Sorry about that, guys. But I'm here, ready to rock and roll with you guys. So nice to see you all. I hope you all had amazing holidays and great time with your friends and family. And also, I want to thank you for all the orders for Black Friday, Shop Small Saturday, and also for Cyber Monday. I hope you guys really loved those sales. Stay tuned though, we have something special coming this weekend. So if you missed out, don't worry, you still have a chance to take advantage of something very special that we have in mind just for you guys. So here I am with all these great hair goodies. So we're gonna do a henna for hair recipe. Today it's about getting that pop of color from the red, like using Red Raj and getting a really nice rich red tone. So we're gonna talk about that and then boost it with a lot of moisture from the aloe vera powder, which is a key ingredient that I've been talking about for weeks now. So what I have here is our Red Raj henna powder. As you can see, it looks luxurious. And the Red Raj is great to color your hair and give you that red tone. And it's also very strengthening, conditioning, and it leaves the hair feeling very full. And, because it coats the hair strand so full and thicker, and it's in a very healthy hair treatment that will create a, healthier hair. Your scalp will be healthier, and then that will promote the hair to grow naturally. So it's key ingredient. Because not only do we bring you great henna products, but our brand and me even personally, I'm here to support you, here to educate you, share recipes and tips. And if you have any questions about your hair focus and anything that concerns you about henna, you definitely have to let us know. You comment in the comments below, because that's what we're here for. We're not here to just give you a henna product and say good luck and I hope it works out for you. That's not what it's about. We're about supporting and making industry changes when it comes to natural hair care with real henna, like hair color, just so that you can ditch those chemicals. We want to support you and squash all those misconceptions that you might hear about henna. I'm here to give you the truth and the facts on henna, especially for hair. And I am a professional henna artist, so there will be classes for henna body artists as well. So I love Red Raj, it's one of my favorites. So you use Red Raj, and we have hibiscus petal powder here, and the hibiscus petal powder is what's really going to boost those red tones. So you'll be adding this to the recipe for that rich red tones, and it adds a lot of shine too. And then the last ingredient that you'll need is our aloe vera powder. So the aloe vera powder is really moisturizing. That's what you're going to need for the moisture, and you need a very small amount because it really goes a long way. And what I have, where we'll start, is basically, I have one more thing to say too about the Red Raj. If you have like shoulder length hair, you're going to use about 100 grams of henna powder. So 100 grams for shoulder length hair. And if your hair is longer or shorter, then you can adjust accordingly. If you're curious about how much to use, comment below. I'll let you know specifically for your hair length and your hair thickness, and that'll be key to gauging how much you'll need. And then for the hibiscus petal powder for 100 grams, you can add about 2 tablespoons. And then for the aloe vera powder, just all you need is 1 teaspoon. So a very small amount. So what I have here mixed on the side is already all blended up. It's a smaller version of this recipe for time's sake, like a cooking show. So I already have a little bit of henna, and then aloe vera powder and hibiscus petal powder, all mixed up in a bowl. And ideally, it's great if you can use glass or stainless steel, ceramic, or like my favorites. You can use plastic, it's a bit porous. Some people think that stainless steel is harmful for the henna treatments. It's not. If you're using pure, natural, raw henna, like powders and all the Arabic herbs that we're using today, if you use that, then that's fine. We don't have metallic salts, or we don't have additives, we don't have all this garbage in our henna, not at all. So that's key to, you know, being able to use stainless steel, which I like that a lot because it's easy to wash, and you know, then if I drop this, it won't break, you know, if it was a stainless steel bowl. So this is our mixture. And I wanted to talk a little bit real quick about that aloe vera powder and dryness. Sometimes, and just the other day actually, a client emailed us and said that they basically, I believe, bought cassia and henna and then hibiscus petal powder, and they were requesting to return all the products because it didn't work out the way that they wanted to, and it left their hair dry and damaged. It's true, henna can dry your hair out. That's a fact. It's not a misconception. It's not, you know, something that might not necessarily occur. I mean, possibly if you have oily hair, it may not be as drying. You could get away without adding the added moisture if you have oily hair, but really you want to nourish your hair strands. Adding a little aloe vera powder is going to keep your hair well balanced. So normal hair, you definitely need some, you know, added moisture, and to dry hair for definitely for sure, you need to add the aloe vera powder. It's really important. So for this client's case, we don't want them to feel defeated by henna. We want to encourage the use of henna and natural, you know, Ayurvedic herbs and taking care of your hair naturally, because it's a proper, like, natural, like, healthy hair option. You know, it's a lifestyle choice, and that's really important to what, you know, what we believe in at HennaSooq. We don't want someone to leave feeling defeated that, oh, they dried out their hair and henna's terrible and it'll never work for you. No, we're here to support you and customize your recipe so for your hair type and your hair needs, focus. Those things are really important. So we hope that that client doesn't give up on henna and definitely takes our suggestions to add more moisture to their regimen, because it's really important to focus on what your hair needs. You know, you have to adjust these, you know, some of these recipes to cater to your hair type. So definitely that is key. And now for the liquids. Okay, so when you're adding liquids, make sure, oh, did I miss any questions? Oh, Hafsa, hey, assalamu alaikum. Okay, let me see. You have a question about your hair falling. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, well, this could help with the hair fall, but do note that you should lose about an average of 100 to 150 hair strands a day. So that's normal. If you feel like you're losing more hair than that, and like you're actually seeing like a lot of like thinness and your scalp, that's definitely to be concerned about. It could be, the treatments definitely can help, but you do have to look at you know, your diet, like how well are, like how well are you eating, you know, the right you know, the right foods and the healthy foods and whatnot. You have to be eating well, drinking a lot of water, and also if you're taking any medication, that might be a factor. And then lastly, sometimes if you're pregnant or just finished, you know, pregnancy, you've ever given birth, like your hair is kind of going through a crazy state during pregnancy and right after. So do note the adjustments, like if those are part of, like, also factor into your hair loss and the hair falling out, that is also a pressing issue that you might need to address, and you may need to go to the doctor. Because again, you could do these treatments, but if you have other issues and concerns, you really have to address those as well. Because it's a balance, you know. It's definitely, life is very important in balancing out your health and your wellness and your outer and your inner. So it's really important. I hope that helps, Hafsa. So basically, yeah, when you're using liquid, I really recommend distilled water, apple cider vinegar, or green tea. For this specific recipe, please choose only from those liquids. And here's a distilled water right now. Make sure your liquid is between warm and hot. Do not use cold water and do not use boiling water. Those are big no-nos. And please let the dye release occur during like room temperature. Like, don't keep it in the fridge. Don't put it in the oven. People do that. Yes, they do. And it's interesting when I get questions about like a client recently asked about, they were asking about, like, they were using Red Raj and they were using different henna powders, and they really weren't getting any dye release, which is really highly unusual because it's kind of hard to kill the dye release, and it's usually really difficult, or it just takes a really long time. It really depends on the ingredients you're using, but come to find out that they put it in their fridge, which is probably going to make the dye release kind of take really long, so it's going to be really unpredictable. And they were adding citric acid and another acidic powder form, citric acid. And really, I don't recommend that you add in those ingredients. I can't really even tell you how long it's going to take for the dye release, or if it will even ever work, because we don't suggest that you use those ingredients when you're mixing your henna. We really don't. If you need an acid, I mean, amla powder has a lot of acidic properties. Apple cider vinegar, it's enough. You don't really need a whole bunch of acid in your recipe. And come to think about it, actually, there's a lot of hair lightening recipes that have citric acid in it too, doesn't it? And I was like, wait a minute, that causes the hair to become lighter. So I wonder if it really makes the henna come out lighter. That is kind of crazy. Does anybody know? If you know, and I know these live videos are long, I hope everyone is tuning in and watching the whole thing. But that's a really interesting question. Do you guys think that citric acid could possibly make the henna recipe much lighter on its own? Maybe that's what the issue is. I'm not really sure, but you should get dye release, but don't use, so if you want color, please don't use citric acid or anything too acidic that will might kill, you know, the dye of the henna. So, and don't put it in your oven. Again, don't put it in your fridge, because that creates a really unpredictable environment for you to consistently know, like, if there's gonna be dye release or if it's already demise. It's just, and you know, if you follow our directions and our recipes, trust me, you will have success. We really, like 99% of the time, this will work for you. Definitely let it sit at room temperature. Like, we have this henna paste that we mixed earlier, and it's been sitting at room temperature, so it should look like that. Definitely, like, you can cover it or leave it uncovered. I've never noticed much of a difference, except people like to cover it to keep it a little bit more, I guess, you know, the moisture in, and also keep out any dust. So you could definitely do that. And yeah, so definitely. So let's start with our mixture. I'm going to add liquid right now, and add a little at a time. There we go. A little at a time. I kind of think I overdid it, but I think we're going to be okay. We will find out. So what happens if you mix too much liquid and your recipe becomes, oh, that's pretty actually. Ooh. What happens if it becomes too runny? What do you do when it becomes too runny? See, it needs more liquid, it's too dry. But if it was to become too dry, then what you'd have to do is add more powder. Ideally, adding more henna powder to this recipe would be great if it got too runny. But yeah, it's a pretty good thick consistency. So let me mix this up real quick. So what if you don't really like the scent of henna, or you want you know, to get more benefits from an essential oil? Can you add it to your henna for hair recipe? Does anybody know that answer? Well, if you're not sure, if you don't know, then I'll definitely let you know that you can. You can add essential oils to your recipe. Like the essential oils we have here. I have some lavender, works really well. Lavender's really nice. Sweet orange essential oil too. And there are some, essential oils that also, there's certain essential oils that do boost the color. That really helps, like, a lot. It definitely boosts the color, a little bit like the Red Raj Bliss Blend, that helps with the color. And then for hair, there's a couple of essential oils that are great for hair. Even hair loss and strengthening, and some natural properties of certain essential oils, such as like the lavender, lemongrass, clary sage, and rosemary. So you may want to look at those, one specifically for hair use. Yeah, so this should be about the consistency. I'm just adding liquid a little at a time. I don't know if you guys can see that. And see, it's kind of like lumpy at first. Yeah, but those lumps will dissolve over time. And again, just let this sit on the side. And for your recipe, if you have to use a whole package, then you probably need about 5 to 10 drops of essential oil. You actually don't need a whole bunch of essential oil. Really don't overdo it with essential oils. 5 to 10 drops for 100 grams is perfect. And also another great tip is that when you're doing your hair, it's nice to, like, freshly wash your hair if you can. But if it's not your wash day, you can add water into a spritz bottle and just spray all your hair strands. Just lightly dampen your hair, and then you can apply it. Makes the application of the treatments go on so much easier. And we have a new hair wash system. It's the step 1 that you would do first, where you would gently and cleanse your hair and get it ready to taken the hair treatments, and then you follow up with step 2, which would be your henna Ayurvedic hair treatment like we have here, and then your step 3 would be the co-wash, and the co-wash adds back all that moisture and detangles and helps to get the treatment out so much easier. So it's really, really great. So let's see, we have some dye release here, a little bit of dye release. I'm not sure if you can kind of see. It's a little bit lighter green underneath. You would see that once you let your henna sit for about 3 to 4 hours, which is the required time for Red Raj to have dye release. Please follow our directives so that you get the best results. If you leave it out overnight, it's not something we recommend, not for our brand. Most of the henna have such a great high dye content and they're so natural and potent that you really want to leave this 3 to 4 hours max and then use it. Please definitely do that. So a little dye release, a little bit. It's hard to probably see in the light and at the distance I am, but you can see how smooth and creamy the recipe is now after it's been sitting for a while. See all that? It's so smooth, and this is the consistency you need it to be to do your hair. This is perfect. Now you can do your hair. Perfect. Doesn't it look good? Oh, it's like chocolate pudding. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. This is how you do a henna, red boosting henna treatment along with added moisture. And if you have any questions or comments, you need a personal recommendation, just comment below, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. That's what we're here for. So again, thank you. I don't see any other questions, so we'll close our class, and I will see you next week, Thursday at 12 p.m. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, remember, Eastern Time Zone. See you then. Bye.